Why does it often seem that there is never enough time in the day? But since we all get the same 24 hours, why is it that some people achieve so much more with their time than others? The answer lies in learning to do less, work better, and achieve more with effective time management. The highest achievers manage their time exceptionally well. By using the time management techniques in this course, you can improve your ability to function more effectively even when pressures are high and time is tight. Effective time management requires an important shift in focus from activities to results. Being busy isn't the same as being effective. In this course, we are going to focus on how you can master your time, email management, get more done by trying to multiply yourself, and finally, let's not forget leveraging that technology. The key to making effective change in your workflow is to begin with understanding your style. One business author, Dave Crenshaw, has identified 3 productivity styles. Focus Masters. This group hasn't had much of an issue with time management or organization, but they struggle to understand why their colleagues can't be more organized and focused. Chaos Masters have struggled with organization and productivity. This isn't to say that they aren't successful. It's just that they've learned to be successful even though their natural tendency is to be chaotic and disorganized in some things. These are those who often have piles around the office and say they know where everything is. There is a group that seem to be a combination of the Focus Masters and the Chaos Masters. These are called the Nomads. A nomad is the most common productivity style. Often they consider themselves inherently focused, but have somehow been pulled away from that natural tendency to be organized. Circumstances at work or just life in general have pulled them out of that focused existence, and it's frustrating for them. If you find yourself in the nomad category, think about how you lost focus and how you can establish new habits that will keep you from losing it again. It helps to remember these styles when you think of colleagues at work. What styles do your team members have? Think about your family members. What styles do they have? Let's talk about how to manage your daily workflow. When you're getting ready to plan your administrative day, one of the things many people fall into the trap of is to sit down and check their email as their very first thing. Here is the challenge. Get into a routine of not doing this. Instead, try doing your worst first. Do some tasks that will actually get some things off your to-do list before you open your email. The email will still be waiting for you, but you will have a sense of accomplishment knowing you already completed some things for today. And it's sort of inevitable that your email will have items that will be added to your to-do list, and this way you're helping keeping it under control. Another thing to try is to manage your incoming communications, and one way you can do this is to schedule times for you to check your email. We get email at all times of the day and night and weekend, but depending on the volume and time sensitivity nature of the types of emails you receive, block out some time for yourself. This stops you from grazing on email all day and allows you to really focus. Consider muting your notifications when you're trying to get some work done from both your computer and your phone. The pop-ups actually distract you more and prevent you from getting more work done. And at the end of your day, create your to-do list tomorrow and identify your high priority items. Then that list can be your worst first list for the next day. When it comes to your daily workflow, try leveraging your shared calendar. When you're scheduling meetings, rather than having them 30 or 60 minutes and having them directly back to back, which doesn't allow you time to close or open files on your computer or run from one floor of the hospital to the other, schedule your meetings for 25 minutes or 50 minutes. This will make you think about really starting and ending on time. Use your calendar to block off time for administrative work, things like answering emails and doing any work you need to prepare for your next meetings. Especially if you have meetings all day, you will need these time blocks to actually get work done. Also, use calendar blocks for personal time. It assures that the space won't be filled with meetings. Block time for everything, even for more enjoyable work, things like taking a Vituity University course on time management. Do a scan at the end of the week or Sunday night, depending on what works best for you, and look at the week and or the month view. Look and see what's coming up and what you need to prepare for. This may tell you that you need to put some blocks on your calendar, but especially if you're a leader, leave gaps in your schedule, because when you're working in the hospital acute care settings, things will always come up. Leave some space to give you time to deal with any crisis or situation that may arise. Plan your upcoming week and month. Remember to consider your personal calendar when you make these work plans. Maintain a detailed action plan for big goals. When there's a big process change happening or a new project that you're implementing at your hospital, give yourself some extra time every week to check in on how things are going and how it's progressing. Schedule some thinking time to work on your goals and next steps. Part of using your calendar more effectively will allow you as a current or future leader in the organization to better balance your work life, so make sure you carve out personal time. Check in with your administrative assistant if you have someone helping you with your calendar, so that they know that there is some time on your calendar that's sacred. If you work a shift from 2 a.m. and you know you don't get home until 3, you probably can't commit to that 9 a.m. meeting the next day. This is an example of a time to add some time to your calendar, a post-shift recovery block. Don't forget to put in your personal time blocks for exercise and family occasions. Give your site management team, executive assistant, and practice administrator access to your calendar. The advantage of this is that they will know just by looking at your calendar when you're available for a meeting, which will cut down on those "are you free at this time" types of emails. You can even list blocks of time on your calendar as limited access time. Another recommendation to give your team access to you is to try and reserve some special hours. Set standard administrative time and office hours and put where you are during that time. Even if you're working from home, you can write that you're available over phone or email. You can work out office time with your site management team, practice administrator, and regional director. Steve Zahn is one of our regional directors in the Midwest. He plans a weekly wellness day, and the goal behind this is to unplug and reconnect with family and friends without feeling like he's tied to his phone or his inbox. He chooses one day during the work week and lets his team know no emails, no calls, no meetings, no shifts. The work will still get done, and this way he is working smarter because it allows him to purely enjoy the time with family and allows him to balance his time better. This doesn't mean the leaders of the organization are only working 4 days a week. With holidays, weekends, and meeting travel time, these aren't 32-hour work weeks. Because the acute care industry is active 24/7, leaders are on much more frequently than they are off. And this wellness day structure allows them to take a break. It allows our leaders to recharge, for them to provide better care for their patients. We all have competing priorities, and getting your calendar in shape will help you with your time management and allow you to feel on top of it all. Paper calendars are rare, so welcome to the digital age. How fortunate we are to be able to manage our workflow through a digital calendar, be it Outlook, Google, or an internal portal system. It's our recommendation to mark anything that requires you to commit time to it on your calendar. If you have meetings, make sure they are on your calendar. Do you need time to prepare a presentation? Block that time out, both so that you know and so anyone trying to schedule time with you knows that you're not available. One tool that is underused but is so valuable is color coding your calendar. Make meetings about certain topics or programs their own color. Make exercise another color. Make shifts yet another. And it will give you an overall picture of what your work week looks like at a quick glance. So we've just advised you to block time for everything on your calendar, but not everyone needs to know the type of appointment you're going to. There's actually a way to do this. Let's pretend I'm planning a surprise party for Teo, and Teo has access to my calendar, so I don't want him to see it. This is a Mac calendar screenshot of the process. When creating the meeting or time block, there's a box to check that says private, and once that is checked, the event will show up as a calendar block that says private appointment. Here is an Outlook O365 screenshot. On the top ribbon, you will find a lock icon with the word private, and when it is clicked, others that view your calendar will see that time block listed as busy on your calendar. Now let's look into how we can better manage that constant chime in your pocket. Developing your processes and responding is so important. It demonstrates to the individual on the other end of the conversation that you are engaged and that the work that they are doing is appreciated and important, as well as showcasing to your leadership that you are on top of the management of your practice. You are notifying the sender that you have read the information and are closing the loop on the topic at hand. This helps avoid the follow-up emails that clog your inbox. We highly encourage you to develop a process that works for you. We've emphasized the importance of managing your email. Now here are some recommendations to help understand the factors that affect response times. Here are our recommendations. During the work week, it is acceptable to respond within 24 to 48 hours unless it is an emergency. But for standard emails in a leadership position, that is a fair expectation. Our stakeholders know our physician leaders are not sitting at their desk waiting for emails to come in, but instead are out in the hospital, clinics, and surgery centers providing care to our patients. Over the holidays, weekends, waiting until Monday morning or the next business day is recommended. Take those holidays and enjoy them with your family and friends. What if you're simply swamped? You're working a double shift and then you have only 2 days of straight meetings. How about using the quick reply technique? This confirms to the recipient that you have received their email and will get back with them on a specific date. Finally, are you going on that well-deserved vacation? Attending a conference? Put an away message that your responses are going to be delayed and how to handle emergencies. One example is to put an away message to call a specific person if it can't wait until you return. Medical directors should put an away message to contact their on-site support and the regional directors for emergencies. It is important to give yourself time to refresh and restore. If you haven't set an out-of-office reply before, here are the simple steps to take. Head into your email, click on the File tab, and there will be a button titled Automatic Replies. Outlook will prompt you to select the dates and times you will be away, as well as create a custom message for your internal and external clients. Another great way to manage your inbox is to send certain types of emails to specific folders automatically so that they can skip your inbox. For example, maybe you do want to read notifications from Vituity Community, but you don't want a flurry of inbox activity. Make a folder and create a rule. From the Outlook web app, go to Options and create an inbox rule that will look at your options and decide what you want to happen. Another way to visually organize your inbox is to color code emails that you receive. On the Home tab top ribbon, you will find the Categorize icon that is the same that you use when color coding your Outlook calendar events. Those same color labels are available to you in Outlook email. It's an easy way to visualize what kinds of emails you're getting and can help you quickly pull up an email in a meeting. While replying to emails in a timely manner is important, having boundaries is equally as important. Balancing that constant chime in your pocket can be frustrating. We recommend avoid checking emails when you're getting up and going to bed. Use the Do Not Disturb on your smartphone during the after-hour periods. Create no smartphone zones, maybe at your dinner table. Choose a workday end time and avoid checking emails after that time. Set expectations for your team and articulate yours. Here is a tip from Dr. Miller, our Chief Medical Officer. If you have Outlook on your computer, you can schedule a reply time. So if you are writing that email at midnight, it can be sent at 8 a.m. This avoids the impression that you are available to respond at midnight. When you are checking your email during the day, in specific blocks of time, of course, because you are adding email blocks of time to your calendar and you won't be grazing on email all day. If it takes you 5 minutes or less to respond to that email, do that right away and then delete it. Don't worry, you're always able to search for it in your sent folder later. If the request will take longer than 5 minutes, assign the email a triage level. High priority, you need to respond or do it in the next 24 hours. That will be part of your worst first process. To do, next 2 to 3 days will be a part of your email block time. Low priority, an article, etc., something that's not time sensitive. FYI, informational, may need to pull up later. Work in progress, slides for tomorrow's presentation. Try to break the mark it as unread habit. Triage it instead. Try to get to the zero inbox daily during your work week, and then stop on your weekend. Fully close your email. Let's talk more about those folders I mentioned. The high priority folder should be reviewed at least daily or more, and are things that are from your high priority stakeholders or urgent time-sensitive requests. This is part of the first work of the day. Things that are going to your to-do folder are reviewed daily as well, and this might be the second work that you do during the day. The low priority folder will have things that you still need some action on, but are less time sensitive. This box you don't have to review every day, but maybe once or twice a week. The FYI or work in progress folder would be like articles or links to sites that you would like to use later. Of course, you're able to tweak this to make it work for you. This is just a recommendation. You can try it and see what you like and don't like about it, and how you want to modify it to work best for you. We talked about sending responses. Now let's talk about how to maximize your email subject lines to get results. Something that can help in getting results is having an informative subject line. Clarifying your subject helps others triage their email better. Better yet, add a date to the subject line. Now they know the request and the deadline to complete this request. Keep your text as concise as possible. Use the KISS principle. Keep it short and simple. Be explicit. What are the expectations? Delegation is something we hear many providers in a leadership role struggling with at a site level. Make sure you understand the support that you have available to you and who your team members are. At the site level, most people should have a practice administrator, previously called OSA. You also have your site management team, your regional director, vice president, and your operations consultants. Identify their skill set, and this will help you determine what best to go to them for and what they will be best at working on. Why do leaders struggle with it so much? And what are the barriers to delegation? I don't trust. I don't want to appear lazy. Others are already too busy. Oh, it's quicker and easier to do it myself. It's about working smarter and using your time to the best of its ability. If it's something administrative that you know you can do, filing, copying, etc., remember that leaders have teams for a reason. Outsourcing your administrative tasks allow you to work at the top of your skill set. And of course, the fourth point, taking the time to teach someone to do this will pay off in the extreme in the long run. We are going to focus on delegation of administrative tasks rather than the other responsibilities of the site management team. How to build that team is actually the topic of an entirely different webinar available on Vituity University. Why is delegation so important? Getting someone to help you do the work grants leaders freedom to think strategically and deal with higher level issues. Then you're not bogged down with the nitty-gritty details of a project. Having others take ownership of a project helps make them more invested and increases engagement. Delegation helps distribute ownership. All parties now share ownership of the success and failure of a project. Delegation of responsibility is a natural way to groom future leaders, and it helps grow others in their roles. I think we could all attest to the challenges of successfully delegating. Dr. Tiffany Hackett recalls the day in her career she received a coordinator to help her. Dr. Hackett was thrilled until she realized the commitment on her end to get the coordinator up to speed and properly communicate the expectations. It does take work on the individual who is delegating, but by defining clear processes as well as the expected outcomes and timeframes, you are positioning yourself to transition that work over. You'll need to continue to communicate, support, and coach this individual. If you do these things, you will have successfully delegated out work with clear expectations and in your time frame, allowing you to focus on work at a higher level. We wanted to provide you an example of where the practice administrator-medical director relationship has been extremely successful. Dr. Kona Sang is the medical director of Kauai Delta Healthcare District. He has delegated a number of responsibilities to his practice administrator, as listed on the slide. Lauren, the practice administrator, focuses on being a familiar, helping face to solve problems and guide providers to the information they need in a timely manner. A practice administrator helps to ensure that the right information makes it to the medical director at the right time. She can serve as a buffer and take care of the low-lying fruit that is very important for the site, but not a top priority for the medical director. This supports bringing balance to the medical director's schedule. There is someone looking at the global schedule. Lauren serves as a clearinghouse to make sure the priority meetings make the calendar and non-priority meetings can be delegated. While we are mentioning a lot about supporting the medical director, it goes beyond that to support the leadership team, as well as to make sure the providers and partners practicing at the site are having their needs and questions met. Watching for provider satisfaction issues to report back to the medical director is also important. We want to highlight some of the things you are able to delegate out to your practice administrator. When you're setting up team meetings, add prep or anything that's necessary to do for that meeting. As a medical director, having them manage your work calendar. On the ground level, at the hospital, administrative elements to onboarding a new hire, including knowing how to access all the enterprise's new technology that is rolling out. Triage phone calls coming into your office. Does it need to be handled now, or can a message be taken and addressed later? Let's continue with the final topic. What are some helpful ways to leverage technology? The purpose of the Vituity community is to connect with fellow partners, advanced providers, and others at Vituity across the country who are solving the same problems, have the same interests, or job function. You'll be able to access advocacy, wellness, clinical education. You can ask your community of providers a question, and much more. Use the search function to get answers. When something works for you, share it. Here is an example of something that came up on the Vituity community. If terms like Office 365, Microsoft Planner, Microsoft Teams, SharePoint, and OneDrive still leave you scratching your head on how they can be advantageous to your time management, you're not alone. But fortunately, the Vituity community and Ask Vera portals are great starting points to get you headed in the right direction to make the most out of these valuable tools. The Microsoft O365 Communications Hub is a great place to start. If you search for O365 in either the Vituity community or Ask Vera, a link to the O365 Hub will be listed under Places. Office 365 is a powerful document management tool and collaboration platform and goes far beyond email and calendar into document storage and other team utilities. Microsoft Teams offers an opportunity to evolve from email use. Vituity Community and Ask Vera have resources like the one shown here to help you get started. Utilize this with your team soon. If you're really hungry to tackle time management challenges, try the newest of gems in Vituity's toolbox of applications, Microsoft Planner. MS Planner is an easy way to track your team's action items. Video and tutorial links to help you make the most of this tool can be found under Ask Vera and the Vituity community. Finally, SharePoint and OneDrive are cloud-based document management tools that allow you to access your documents from anywhere, as well as have up-to-date versions of collaborative documents. Using these tools and moving away from storage directly on your laptop is not only smart, it is a great step into the inevitable future of technology best practices. As we conclude, ask yourself this question: which area could I improve in that would make the most impact in my time management? Is it in the area of mastering your time, email management, getting more by trying to multiply yourself, or by leveraging that technology? We wanted to share some of the email management resources that are available to you. Getting Things Done promotes the email triage. Factory of One. This is an easy read, 150-page book with the first chapter posted in the Vituity community. This lays the foundation for improving productivity in an office-based setting. Another resource available to continue your journey is our Powerfully Simple Meetings course. Thank you for investing your valuable time in this course. Finally, we want to leave you with a quote from Charles Richards. Don't be fooled by the calendar. There are only so many days in the year as you make use of. One man gets a week's value out of a year, while another man gets a full year's value out of a week. Get full value out of your time this week.